In recent years, trade tensions between Canada and the United States have escalated, creating a complex landscape that affects both nations economically and socially. This ongoing trade war, characterized by tariffs and retaliatory measures, has significant implications for industries ranging from agriculture to manufacturing. As we delve into this topic, it's crucial to understand how these economic disputes ripple through our daily lives, influencing everything from the prices we pay at the grocery store to job security in various sectors. The stakes are high, and the consequences of these tensions extend beyond mere statistics. They touch the lives of everyday citizens. By examining the roots of this trade conflict and its broader economic impacts, we aim to provide an engaging and informative perspective that sheds light on why these issues matter. Understanding the dynamics of Canada-U.S. trade relations is essential not only for policymakers, but also for consumers who are directly affected by these decisions. Join us as we explore the intricacies of this trade war, its implications for both countries, and what it means for you and your community. This is a conversation that affects us all, and it's time to unpack its significance. Recently, Canada made headlines with its unexpected announcement of a 25% tariff on certain U.S. goods, a move that has sent shockwaves through the trade landscape. This decision comes in the context of escalating tensions, particularly following the U.S. framing of its tariffs as a national security measure, which has raised eyebrows and concerns among Canadian officials. The U.S. government justified these tariffs under the guise of protecting its national interests, but many see this as a thinly veiled tactic to gain leverage in trade negotiations. In response, Canada's strategic implementation of its own tariffs serves not only as a countermeasure, but also as a statement of resilience and solidarity with its domestic industries. By targeting specific U.S. products, Canada aims to minimize the economic impact on its own economy while sending a clear message that it will not back down in the face of aggressive trade policies. This calculated response highlights the complexities of international trade relations and the delicate balance countries must maintain when navigating such disputes. As we unpack the implications of Canada's tariff announcement, it becomes evident that this is more than just a trade issue. It's a pivotal moment in the ongoing saga of North American economic relations. Canada's retaliatory strategy against U.S. tariffs has been notably targeted, focusing on specific products that hold significant weight in American politics and the economy. Among the items chosen are bourbon and electric vehicles, both of which are not only popular consumer goods, but also symbols of American industry and culture. Bourbon, for instance, is deeply rooted in American heritage, particularly in states like Kentucky, making it a politically sensitive target. By imposing tariffs on this beloved spirit, Canada sends a clear message that it understands the political ramifications of its actions. Similarly, electric vehicles represent a burgeoning sector in the U.S. economy, with major manufacturers like Tesla and General Motors heavily invested in this market. Targeting these products places pressure on American producers and highlights the interconnectedness of trade and domestic policy. This strategic approach aims to create leverage in negotiations, as affected industries may push for a resolution to avoid further economic fallout. By focusing on these pressure points, Canada not only retaliates effectively, but also underscores the broader implications of trade tensions, reminding the U.S. that its decisions have real consequences for its own economy and political landscape. The impact of tariffs on the North American auto industry is profound, primarily due to the intricate interconnectedness of U.S. and Canadian auto supply chains. These supply chains are highly integrated, with parts and components frequently crossing the border multiple times before reaching the final assembly line. When tariffs are imposed, production costs inevitably rise, as manufacturers face increased expenses for imported materials and components. This escalation in costs can lead to higher prices for consumers and, more critically, may jeopardize job security for workers in both countries. As companies grapple with these financial pressures, they may be forced to make tough decisions, including layoffs or even relocating production to countries with lower costs. The broader implications for American workers and communities are significant. A decline in the auto industry can ripple through local economies, affecting not just those directly employed in manufacturing, but also suppliers, service providers, and retail businesses that rely on a healthy automotive sector. Communities that have historically depended on the auto industry may face economic downturns, leading to reduced investment and diminished opportunities. Thus, the ramifications of tariffs extend far beyond the factory floor, impacting the livelihoods and futures of countless individuals and families across North America. The trade war between Canada and the United States has significant political ramifications on both sides, particularly as job losses mount and public discontent grows. In regions heavily reliant on industries affected by tariffs, such as manufacturing and agriculture, communities are feeling the strain, leading to increased frustration among voters. This discontent creates political pressure on elected officials to take action, whether through negotiations or alternative economic strategies. In the United States, politicians often frame the trade war as a necessary measure to protect American jobs and national interests, while Canadian leaders emphasize the importance of fair trade practices and the need for collaboration. These differing narratives reflect the broader political landscapes in each country, with U.S. politicians often appealing to nationalist sentiments, while Canadian officials advocate for a more cooperative approach. As the trade war continues, the potential for political consequences looms large, especially with upcoming elections on the horizon. In the United States, candidates may face backlash from constituents who have lost jobs or seen their livelihoods threatened, while Canadian politicians must navigate the delicate balance of supporting domestic industries without escalating tensions further. Ultimately, the trade war could reshape political dynamics, influencing voter behavior and party platforms in both nations. Canada possesses significant potential to leverage its energy resources in response to ongoing trade tensions with the United States, particularly given the U.S. reliance on Canadian oil, gas, and electricity. As one of the largest suppliers of energy to its southern neighbor, Canada plays a crucial role in meeting U.S. energy demands. This interdependence creates a unique opportunity for Canada to use its energy exports as a strategic tool in negotiations. If Canada were to withhold energy supplies, the implications could be substantial, leading to increased energy prices and potential shortages in the U.S. market. Such a move would not only disrupt the supply chain, but also place immense pressure on American consumers and industries that depend on stable energy prices for their operations. The impact would be felt across various sectors, from manufacturing to transportation, as rising energy costs could lead to higher prices for goods and services. Additionally, U.S. consumers could face increased utility bills and fuel prices, sparking public discontent and potentially influencing political dynamics. By strategically leveraging its energy resources, Canada could assert its position in the trade dispute, reminding the U.S. of the critical role it plays in North American energy security. Tariffs have a profound impact on supply chain efficiency, disrupting the seamless flow of goods and materials that businesses rely on for production. When tariffs are imposed, the cost of imported components rises, leading to delays and complications in sourcing essential materials. Companies often face challenges in finding alternative suppliers or adjusting their supply chains to mitigate these increased costs, which can result in production slowdowns and inefficiencies. This disruption not only affects the immediate operations of businesses, but also creates a ripple effect throughout the entire supply chain, as delays in one area can lead to bottlenecks in others. The broader economic consequences of these supply chain breakdowns are significant. They can lead to increased prices for consumers, reduced competitiveness for businesses, and potential job losses as companies struggle to maintain profitability. Additionally, industries that rely on just-in-time inventory systems are particularly vulnerable, as any disruption can lead to production halts and missed deadlines. Ultimately, the cascading effects of tariffs on supply chain efficiency highlight the interconnected nature of global trade and the importance of stable trade relationships for economic health, underscoring the need for careful consideration in trade policy decisions. The ongoing trade war between the United States and Canada significantly influences global trade dynamics, prompting reactions from various countries around the world. As tensions escalate, nations such as China and those in Europe are closely monitoring the situation, seeking opportunities to capitalize on the disruptions in North American trade. For instance, China may look to strengthen its trade ties with Canada, positioning itself as an alternative partner for Canadian goods and resources, while European countries could explore increased exports to both nations, filling the gaps left by strained US-Canada relations. This shift not only allows these countries to enhance their economic standing but also fosters new alliances that could reshape global trade networks. In the long term, the trade war may lead to a reconfiguration of global economic relationships as countries reassess their dependencies and seek to diversify their trade partnerships. The potential fragmentation of established trade agreements could result in a more multipolar trading environment, where nations prioritize regional partnerships over traditional alliances. As countries adapt to these changes, the global economy may experience increased volatility, with emerging markets gaining influence while established powers navigate the complexities of a shifting trade landscape. Ultimately, the repercussions of the US-Canada trade tensions extend far beyond North America, reshaping the future of global commerce. The trade war between the United States and Canada carries significant legal implications, particularly concerning existing trade agreements like the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. This agreement was designed to facilitate trade and resolve disputes among the three nations, but the imposition of tariffs and retaliatory measures has raised questions about compliance and enforcement. The conflict highlights the challenges of enforcing trade rules and regulations, as countries may interpret agreements differently or act unilaterally in response to perceived threats to their economic interests. Legal disputes arising from these tensions could lead to lengthy arbitration processes, straining diplomatic relations further. If either country seeks resolution through international trade bodies, such as the World Trade Organization, WTO, the outcomes could set precedents for future trade conflicts. Potential outcomes may include rulings that favor one nation over the other, which could exacerbate tensions or lead to further retaliatory measures. Additionally, the legal ramifications of these disputes could impact businesses caught in the crossfire as they navigate the complexities of compliance and potential penalties. Ultimately, the legal landscape surrounding the trade war underscores the importance of clear communication and adherence to established agreements to maintain stability in North American trade relations. In this video, we explored the multifaceted impact of the trade war between Canada and the United States, emphasizing its significance in shaping everyday lives. We discussed how escalating tariffs disrupt supply chains, affect job security, and lead to increased prices for consumers, highlighting the real-world implications of these economic policies. Understanding these dynamics is crucial, as the trade war not only influences industries but also affects communities and individual livelihoods across North America. We also examined the legal implications of the conflict, particularly in relation to trade agreements like the USMCA and the challenges of enforcing trade rules. As the situation continues to evolve, it is essential for viewers to stay informed about ongoing developments and their potential consequences. We encourage you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who may benefit from these insights. By staying engaged and informed, we can collectively navigate the complexities of the trade war and its impact on our lives. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you more valuable content in the future.